Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road. Plus Ultra!
Hey guys, and welcome to What If Naruto was Jin Ryusai Yamamoto's reincarnation. Now, if you guys don't know what head Captain Yamamoto is, he's from Bleach and he has this awesome ass Zanpakuto that's very, very strong. It's a spirit, damn I'm stuttering, called Rinjin Jujaka. And the capabilities of this sword will be later explained throughout the series, but I don't want to waste you guys' time anymore because we got a series, like a schedule to keep uphold. Anyway, so without any further ado, let's get into the story. So everything would start off with Minato basically sealing the Nine Tails inside of Naruto, but something strange would happen. So instead of everything going normal, all of a sudden Naruto's body would emit this huge flame like aura, and it would shoot up into the sky, and it would be hot around the village. I mean, the villagers would feel this intense heat, and they don't know what it is. They think it's some kind of genjutsu, but it's not, because they can feel it. Like their mouth, the saliva in their mouth is getting dry. Naruto, like as a baby, he's crying, and they hear his cries. They hear the loud scream of his cries. All of a sudden, a sword comes from underground like it was forged in the depths of hell. And this sword would have this fiery like aura surrounding the sword. And it will land directly next to Naruto. And all of a sudden, everything would stop. Minato and Kushina would be very, very, very much surprised. But to this point, Kushina didn't die in this one. Minato is. I'm sorry, but this kind of route is going to be with the mother instead of the father. So Minato would pass away with Kushina still on the verge because Kushina thought she was going to die too. But the Hokage, as she was fading away, the Hokage, third Hokage, Hiruzen would say, she can still be saved. She still has life in her. So they would rush Kushina and Naruto to the hospital and they would begin their healing. Now, with this being said, I want to have Kushina play a big role into Naruto's growth as well as Naruto's future in the series going on. So now we cut to Naruto's being 5 years old, and Naruto's mindscape, since when Naruto was 4 years old, his mother didn't tend to tell him this, but Naruto's body and mind was in a coma for his whole year of being 4 years old. Now that Naruto's woke up from his coma. So now that Naruto's woke up from a coma, he has these strange abilities that he didn't know he had before. I mean, he didn't have any information that he had it before. Naruto feels like he's a master swordsman. He has a measurable part, like amount of power inside of him, as well as an immeasurable other part. I don't know if you guys tell me in the comments below. Is Ryatsu and spiritual pressure the same thing? It's been a while. So the Danzo would do the pretty shitless thing that he did. Well, not shitless, the pretty asshole thing that he did in the original canon, which was tell the whole village that Naruto was a nine-tailed fox demon. But nobody would hurt Naruto or be next to Naruto or like any kind of threatening issue towards Naruto, because if they did so, they would have to feel the wrath of Naruto and his mother combined. See, with Naruto and his mother being both there, she was known as the Red Hot Habanero, and Naruto, with his immense spiritual pressure, would freeze them in place as his mother would slowly approach them. Naruto's face would appear in front of his targets. Like this kind of genjutsu was something strong. At least that's what they thought this was. This was some kind of genjutsu, but it was not. This was Naruto basically staring at them, and then he would go to say in their head that I have no time for infants who don't know how to. I messed that line up so bad. But Naruto would say, I have no time for infants that don't know how to walk yet. Get out of my sight and leave me alone, you pathetic piece of trash. And they would be foaming out of the mouth, crying and sweating. And then Kushina would walk over to there and punch them directly into the ground, basically cracking the ground with their head. Then Naruto and Kushina would walk away. Kushina would spend most of her time training Naruto in sword play and all that kind of stuff, since Naruto basically likes the presence of his mom, since his mom is the only one that in this village just showing him kindness. But Naruto still holds a huge amount of loyalty towards the village and a huge amount of sense of justice, since Naruto is that kind of character that wants to initiate peace and he wants to initiate stability in the village in the village so that he can be accepted, but he wants to be accepted in his own way through his own strength. But he also trains with his mother, and his mother has grown very stronger off this as well, since Naruto being already a master in sword play, since he figured out that every kind of sword to attack that his mother's trying to teach him, or a sword play that she's trying to teach him, he already knows it. And basically, well, now is reversed, that he's training her in it, so she becomes very, 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 very good at sword skills. I'm talking about very good. This woman can slice a tree in half without you even knowing that she did it. So Naruto's not gonna have any kind of chakra-based attacks in this kind of anime. I'm sorry, but he will have some of his attacks will be similar to what he can do, but as far as any other things, no. So Naruto's basically amount of attacks are going to be based on Kido. It's going to be based on Kido and Hado, and some of the things that Naruto can do, and some of the things that is some of them that are binding and destruction. I should have said that. So if Naruto wants to bind a person, or say for example, basically block a person, he would say Doku. I hope I got the name right. Or he would say Sai, and Sai is just basically the ninjas are their arms are folding behind their back and falling to the ground. That's a binding spell for Naruto. And Naruto's going to be practicing these kind of spells and these Hado spells to a point to where Naruto doesn't even have to say them. But I will, just so you guys know what he's using. But Naruto doesn't have to say them. He can just look at you and the spell would just happen. I know. Powerful, right? Now, the third Hokage wouldn't be the third Hokage anymore. I should just said Hiruzen, but Kushina would take over for the fourth Hokage, and she would become the fourth Hokage of the Leaf Village. She would be practicing her not flash step, like the same kind of techniques that the fourth Hokage used. The stutters! So Kushina would learn the Rasengan. She would be getting taught by Jiraiya Sensei about how to master the Rasengan. She would create her own version of the Rasengan, and it would be a red Rasengan. And she would basically manipulate the Rasengan, creating different versions of it, or just adding it to her base chakra. Kushina would also learn the Flying Raijin, but she would be known as the Red Flash of the Leaf. And she would scold Danzo and basically threaten to kill Danzo if he comes near her child. He was wrong to let the whole village know what happened or what went down or what we had to do to save this village. And Danzo would look at her and say he was so close to getting the Hokage chair if it wasn't for her. She should have died out there with her child. Not her child, her husband. Now Kushina would have a vein, like a vein on her fist, and she's ready to clobber this guy into the fucking dirt. Now we're gonna leave that alone because Kushina just walks away from it and says, I have a village to run. I have no time for infants. And this is related to what her son says. So now we're gonna fast forward to when Naruto was 12 years old, as everything went in the academy per normal, but Naruto was at the top of his class. The only thing Naruto couldn't do was a clone jutsu, but that didn't really spell out much of Naruto, because pretty much Naruto is a pretty much genius right now. I mean, there's nothing that Naruto couldn't do in the academy. His grades were good, his test results were good, his skills was good, his taijutsu was good. Naruto is known as a prodigy in the village, right next to Sasuke, possibly even 2 steps ahead of Sasuke at this point. Now we get to a point where the teams are assigned, and we have Naruto, we have a girl named Rukia, and then we have Sasuke. Now, Rukia is this black-haired girl who looks at Naruto, and she has this huge admiration for him. I hope I said that right. And she just wants to be on the same team. She's happy she's on the same team to Naruto, and she wants to prove herself to Naruto. And if you guys wanted Sakura to be on this team, yeah, that's not happening. I'm gonna put my girl Rukia on this team. So Sasuke on this point is annoyed that someone like Naruto is on his team, but he also is happy. He wants to learn more about Naruto. How did Naruto get these skills, and how did Naruto get these powers? Now we fast forward to when they were on the roof, and Sasuke would have his same thing, saying there's a certain someone he wants to kill and avenge his fallen clan. Rukia would look at Kakashi Sensei, and she would say that she wants to become a powerful, strong Shinigami. And she wants to become someone who can master her power and can be a strong shinobi one day. And Kakashi would say, what are your powers? Well, I don't know. I don't know my powers, the name of my sword yet. I mean, it hasn't told me its name yet, but I know it has a name. And Kakashi would smile at this, saying, "Swords don't have a name. Swords are ninja tools." But Rukia would say, "Well, my sword is no tool. I can feel power within my blade." And Naruto would look at Rukia and say, "Same here." He would open his eyes, Naruto would open his eyes and say, "Same here. I can feel power in my blade too. That's why I've been training with it for so long. If I'm thinking what you're thinking right now, your name's Rukia, right? If you just said your sword is not a tool, then your sword has a spirit in it. Your sword can be similar to mine. I came up with the name Zanpakuto, as they're different from regular ninja weapons in this world. I think Zanpakuto holds spirits in them, and for the individual that are chosen by these Zanpakuto are gained with some special abilities, quite different from what we know as chakra." Kakashi would say, "What do you mean, Naruto? It's hard to explain to people that don't know the techniques or haven't even experienced the power. I guess it's just a new age or something like that. Anyway, Rukia." And Rukia will look at Naruto and say, "Yes, Naruto? When you were a child, did your mother ever mention that you had an episode or something would happen over your body or something like that?" And Rukia would say, "No, she never told me anything about when I was born, what happened, or how did the birth go." Naruto would say, "Well, ask her. She does, and she might have some incredible information that you might want to hear." Anyway, Kakashi would interrupt and say, "I hate you all. You're all annoying. Anyway, meet me at the training field at this time, 8 o'clock tomorrow. Now, don't eat or you'll puke," and Kakashi would poof away. This would intrigue Naruto to basically learn more about Rukia and what she's capable of doing, so Naruto would tell Rukia to have a spar with him. Sasuke would sit back and watch this as he wants to see what these two are capable of. Rukia would say, "Right here and right now," and they would go, "No, not right here. Sasuke, if you want to join, you got to try to catch up." Rukia and Naruto were basically, I'm not gonna say Rukia and Naruto were basically away. At this point, Rukia has the elements of Flash Step Down. I'm just gonna give that to him now. Flash Step Down. So Sasuke would be like, "Wait, where did these two go? They said they were going to the training field, so I do want to see what they're capable of." So Sasuke hurries to the training field, only to be like, when he got there, the battle was almost in its climax. Now, Naruto and Rukia has been fighting. When they got there, Naruto didn't hold any hesitation. He rushed Rukia, and Rukia unsheathed her sword and cleaned it with Naruto's. Now they're in an intense sword fight. So Naruto's just basically he's not going all out because he doesn't need to go all out. Naruto's just using this as an example or some kind of analysis to what Rukia is capable of doing. So Naruto learns that Rukia has a powerful ice-type spirit, somewhat as powerful as Naruto's flame-like spirit. And Naruto would say, and sit down with Sasuke watching, and say, "Sasuke, you can come down now. Did you enjoy the fight?" Sasuke would say, "How are you two doing that? I couldn't even basically see what you guys were doing. You guys were moving so fast, but all I seen was flurries of ice and fire just going everywhere." And then Naruto would get into explaining Rukia's power, and this is where Naruto would say, "Rukia, you have the potential to even freeze over the entire village. You could turn everything into ice. Your power could be dangerous, or I'd say it is dangerous. Do you ever fear the cold or are scared of the cold for some reason?" And Rukia would say, "Yes. When it gets cold, I get scared that something bad might happen. That my power would go out of control. My mother didn't tell me about my birth, but she told me about the power that I have. And she told me it's in the form of a Kekkei Genkai called ice." And that's where we're gonna cut it off at, guys. I'm sorry it's so short and everything, but I got other stuff to do. I got other anime to go. Well, not an anime, another What If to make after this one. But I want you guys to know, did you like it? Did you like where I went with this one? I cut it off at that point because I want to see how you guys react to the video, as when we get to the Land of Waves, the D rank missions, the Land of Waves, the tuning exams. Everything's gonna be action packed in that era. But I just wanted to hear you guys' thoughts and opinions. Did I do a good intake? Well, interpretation of what if Naruto was Jin Ryusai Yamamoto's reincarnation? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and plus ultra. Good night, guys.